month, you re-recorded your debut EP, Seize the Day, after releasing your self-titled debut last year. Why this option now? Why did we re-record the EP?
It was for two reasons, really. The first reason was to take back control of our own music. We had a split with a former partner from the early days of the band. And without a protracted legal battle and a fight for the rights to our own music, we decided to re-record it. So that was reason one. Reason two was to revise it with Super Staley on the 6 strings now, or how many strings, with Bill on the guitars, and to revise the songs after doing them for so many years and to give it new life and to give it a proper push. I guess those are the main reasons. And Eric, do you want to expand on that?
I mean, I think that covered it well. You know, as we kind of grew into this band that we are now, we decided there were little things we wanted to touch up on in the tunes. You know, as Brent said, I'm just elaborating a little bit here. You know, when you play music together for a while, sometimes you get a better feel for what you want to do with your part, and I think that's where we were at with some of these tunes. We wanted to kind of fix things up, tweak it a bit, and make it something a little more permanent.
You've added to the original tracks new song Dreams About the Rain, and we also covered King Diamond's Welcome Home. Tell us more about these 2 tracks.
Why don't you take that one, Eric?
All right. Well, Dreams About the Rain was a really collaborative effort for this band. It was a great thing we did. We all got together in a room. We sat there and we said, what are we going to do with this track? You know, Brent had written the original riff, I think, when he was a teenager or something like that. And
not quite that long ago, but far enough. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, Brent, he brought this riff to the table, and I thought it was really magical sounding. You know, we were originally going to do it for the very first version of Seize the Day, and it kind of turned into something else, and it didn't even resemble the original riff. So it was nice to be able to take that riff and actually rewrite it into a full song, and I think it came out really killer, personally. Then we also did that King Diamond cover, which, I mean, we just love bringing the metal, right? And that was our opportunity to to kind of showcase some of the things this band is capable of doing. You know, it's a killer track. Everybody loves that song. We all know it. We all love it. And I knew it was great to show off Super Staley's killer shreds. You know, it shows Brent's killer drumming. It shows a lot of the things I could do with my voice. So it was like kind of a perfect cover for us to do as a unit, you know. So
definitely, I wanted to expand a little on the Dreams About the Rain. That was a really, really neat thing that we did, and we're very proud of that. It's a definite, it's one end of the spectrum, I would say, of the dynamics of the band or whatever you may have, and the guitar solo in that song is definitely one of my favorite parts of the whole record. Bill did a great job on that, and Eric did amazing with the vocals. And we did some neat other stuff too. It's my first time playing a rain stick, and there's some neat shakers and some percussion and stuff in there. So, yeah,
I could expand just a little bit on the King Diamond Welcome Home. So, if any of you have heard our self-titled album from last year, there's a song that Brent wrote called Entity. And there's a transition from, we call it the 70s-ish section to the 80s-ish section. And we've never been shy about, proclaiming our roots as to what our influences. You know, we don't shy away from that. Well, anyhow, going into that section, there was one scream that I heard in my head I wanted Eric to do. And what I heard in my head was something very similar to Jeff Tate screaming in Digital. And so I tried to get Eric to do it, and he did it. But when he did it, it sounded so much like King Diamond. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to cover a King Diamond song sometime. So when it just stuck in my head, and then when the opportunity presented itself, I kind of pushed for that one, and everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. So
yeah, that one was a lot of fun. I gained a new appreciation for King Diamond. You know, I've always loved that stuff, but learning the song trying to learn it note for note and kind of do a take on it. It's a really, really cool tune. And
What are our next plans, and are we working on new music?
so our next plans are to release the video that was done for Welcome Home. Killer video done with Thomas Crane, Kill Devil Films. He did an amazing job. It's looking great. It's almost wrapped up. And then we're revising the self-titled album. We're going to redo the drums on that and a couple other things. And we've got some shows in October. And then we're looking to do the live assault in 2026. And within that time, we're also gonna, I don't want to talk about the whole thing. I want you guys to say something too, but we're also gonna do another video and push the song Creeper off the self-titled album. And then what are our plans from there, guys? To take over the world in Europe, South America, and everywhere we can take Out of Darkness far and wide.
Sure. So and we have started working on the next album, the third album. We have a Dropbox that we share ideas to, and I've already put a couple songs that I wrote up there, just about complete songs, to let Eric come up with his vocal melodies and ideas. And Eric has sent us some stuff separately of new ideas that he has for songs as well. So yeah, we're well on track for new stuff.
Yeah. Super stoked for album 3.
Yeah. That one's going to be a killer.
All right. Anything else to add to that one?
Eric?
I think that was pretty good.
Okay. So interesting one. You guys can start with it. All right. How do you see nowadays USA metal scene? How's the metal scene in America today?
Ooh, well, it's interesting. I mean, I wasn't around for the 80s and 90s of it, but I have been around for the 2000s portion. And I think it's pretty interesting. Right now, I feel like heavy metal's pretty strong in Florida. It probably always has been, to be honest. I mean, we're a rebellious state here in the United States, and metal's all about rebellion, right? So I think there's a really, really heavy, strong heavy metal scene here in Florida. As for the rest of the United States, you know, I mean, different sections, I think, have their glory. You know, I think when we played in, what was it, Cincinnati, Ohio, or something, I think they had a pretty sweet scene over there in Ohio. That New Orleans, was it? No, it was somewhere on the way to New Orleans. I forgot where we played. The name of that.
Mississippi. I think it was
Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi had a pretty cool scene too. It was pretty happening over there. What do you guys think?
I mean, I see what you're saying about Florida too. You know, I'm a good bit older than Eric, so I was around for the 80s and 90s. There's always been somewhat of a scene. Sometimes it's more cohesive. The bands are more kind of work together, and there's more clubs that are more permanent. It seems like a lot of those kind of places that bands play on at least a smaller level, they seem to come and go. But there's always been a lot of really good bands in Florida, a lot of really good talent. And I think there's pockets throughout the states. There's, of course, the hot spots like New York and LA and California, but Ohio happening in the Midwest and Chicago and stuff like that. But, I feel like all it takes is really a handful of good bands to get like a local kind of scene going. And then you just branch out from there, So
I think something I've noticed in recent times, maybe you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong, but is not as much putting bands into specific genres of metal. I think maybe if you go back 15, 20 years, you were this particular kind of metal. You were death metal, you were black metal, you were power metal, and you kind of only associated with and played, and you were kind of stuck in that genre. And now, I mean, there's still some of that, but I think there's a little more just we're a metal band, and you can have metal bands of all these different genres, and nobody really cares,
That's totally true. That's a really good point you made there, Bill. Yeah, it's turned into a melting pot in the scene, you play with all kinds of bands, you know, and you see all sorts of bands, and there's all this crossover going on where you're no longer limited to just one kind of metal. You're not just a thrash band, or you're not just a prog band, or whatever it is, you know.
Power metal.
There's blends going on, and the scene is really showing that for sure.
As Eric would say, it's a boiling, steaming cauldron of metal.
Yeah,
No,
right.
ruined it.
Boiling freaking metal.
Give us one, Eric. Come on, give us a good one.
Boiling fucking metal. There you go.
All right. Okay.
Hope that's not very loud.
I want to say just a little bit more about the scene.
Oh.
And that's one thing that is on the agenda for Out of Darkness in the very near future. Is finding out exactly what's up with the scene all over the States, regionally, and then onward. So we'll get back to you on the next interview, let you know more about that.
And it is, we know you have plans for shows in the US, which we've just discussed. Are there any chances of coming to Europe? Brent?
Well, this is the thing with what we're doing. We have a multi-step plan of growing the band and playing outward from our home base. So we haven't discussed it in exact detail, but there's somewhat of a 5-step plan for the US and North America to get up into Canada. And then Europe is next on the agenda. So that would be the next step. I think Europe would definitely be a hot spot for us for our kind of music, especially Germany and the surrounding countries, and really then everywhere. So Europe is definitely on a big motivating goal and factor. I think it's just a couple steps for us to get to there. And then from there on, I feel like me, and I think I speak for the rest of the guys, we want to spread the music as far and wide as possible. So it's definitely the US, North America, Europe would be the next thing to conquer. And then I'm also very interested in South America, Mexico, Central America, any of that. And then, of course, we would love to get to all the other places, Japan and Australia, really anywhere that would have Out of Darkness. I think the whole world deserves to hear the magnificence of us.
First, we need to get out of America.
Out of Darkness, out of America. But for now, we want to get Out of Darkness all over in America. We want to saturate the mother country.
Although any Europeans that are listening to this, if you do know a promoter, please get us in contact with them.
Sure.
That will speed up the process of getting us over there.
I don't have much to add to what they said, except we are ready, willing, and able.
There you go. Yes, indeed.
All right.
100%.
So, World of Metal, thanks for having us, and thanks for asking us these great questions. We'll talk to you again soon.
Metal lives.
Metal lives.